Hello friends, welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we will discuss about queues in Java. So queue is a major data structure in Java. So we will discuss about it. So queue, the basic thing about queue is a first in first out manner data structure, which means whatever the queue, whoever enter the queue first will leave the queue first. So that is the data structure of queue. So this is implemented using a queue interface in Java. There is an interface called as queue, and there are many classes which implements the particular interface queue interface. So there are two types of queues basically, bounded and unbounded. Bounded means you have to, there is a restriction, the size will be limited of the particular queue, so we have to provide the specific size of the particular queue while declaring the queue itself. And unbounded queues means these queues which doesn't have any bounding, which means we can have, the queues can have any number of elements, and as a number of elements can be any. And example for unbounded queue is priority queue, and example for bounded queue is array blocking queue. So that is about basic things about queues. And there is another double-ended queue called as deck in Java. So deck is an implementation of double-ended queues in which we can add and delete elements from the both side of the queue. So let us see some methods in the queue interface. So the first method is offer method. Offer is method is similar to add, but the difference in case of queue is if there is a bounded queue and you are trying to insert a value after the limit of the particular queue, then offer method will return you a false value, but add method will return you an exception. So that is the difference between add and offer. And next is poll method. The poll method will retrieve the particular the element which we are going to remove from the particular queue. So it will remove the particular topmost element from the queue. And next is element method, which will return you a particular element. And next method is peek method. So peek will just show whether which element is will be the topmost element. It will not retrieve the element, it will just show what is the topmost element in the queue. So that is about the theoretical aspects about the queue. Now let us see some programs. Without further ado, let us see some programs. Now let us see a program based on queues in Java. So queue is a first in first out manner data structure. So let us see a program based on queue. So in this program, I am creating a priority queue. Here you can see how I am creating the priority queue. So priority queue is an unbounded queue in which we don't need to provide the size of the particular queue while declaration. And after that, I'm using the add and offer method to add particular values into the priority queue. In the names, I am adding one by one. And after that, I'm printing the particular queue. And then I'm using the peek poll and element method in the particular queue interface. And finally, I'm using the remove method to remove the particular element from the queue. So let us see the output to see how the program is getting executed. So here you can see the output. Q is getting printed, then peek poll element remove method is returning true because the element is found, and finally it is printing the Q with the two string implementation of the Q. It is printing. So you can see in square bracket separated by commas, it the values are coming on the Q. So this is it about queues. Now let us see another program. Now let us see a program based on deck in Java. So we discussed about queues. Now let us discuss about a queue called as double-ended queues. So double-ended queues will have, we can have insertion and deletion removal from both ends of the queue. So it can work either as a both queue as well as a stack also. It can work. So let us see this program. So in this program, I am using a class called as ArrayDuck. ArrayDuck is an implementation of Duck interface, which has some methods. And so this first we will see how we are inserting data into the Duck. So there are multiple methods to insert. Add method, offer first, offer last, and offer method. All the methods are there to add the elements to the particular Duck. And after that, I am using the poll first, peak first, peak last, and finally pole first and pole last, all these methods to print the particular values. So it will remove, pole will remove the element, peak will only retrieve the element and show the element to us. And finally I am using I am printing the particular queue, so that after these operations what will happen to our queue, we need to understand that. So let us see the output of this program. So here you can see the elements in the queue, and initial queue is there, and finally after of each operation the queue element is getting removed. In the final output you can see all both elements are getting removed. So pole first and pole last method will remove the particular elements. Peak will only just peek at the element and it will display what is the element there. And that's it about this lecture in about queues in Java. So queues is a first in first out manner data structure in Java, which is we commonly used for those purpose to implement queues in Java. So it's very work really like a real time queue. How we stand in queues, the first person who enters the queue will leave the queue first. So similar to that only. So thank you for watching this lecture. I will be back with another lecture.